Okay.
Yeah, I think yes. Those are all I'm just going to repeat them back to you and you can tell me if
Okay.
I'm right or wrong. But like um doing so you want to feel empowered in your work
Hmm.
and you want to feel trusted with what you're doing. Like you want to
Hmm.
feel like people respect you enough to
Yes.
give you the space to do that
Yeah.
and and that you have the autonomy you want. Like you
Hmm.
maybe you want a framework for the work that you're doing, but you want autonomy within that framework.
Precisely.
Yeah. Okay. Um okay, cool. What about other things?
I mean, we just talked about kind of stepping into a new family
Hmm.
and figuring out all those dynamics. Um, so yeah, for that to be more peaceful, my my partner, now husband's family, is like going through some transition stuff, and that's not anything I wanted to, deal with. But I'm here and I support him, and I'm like part of that now, and I want to be able to be peaceful in that and hopeful instead of making it worse, and also being able to detach from that and like not own too much of that for myself.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, okay. Um, what would it look like to have joy in your in your day-to-day life?
I feel like that's something I'm actually pretty good at.
Yeah.
Um,
Tell me about it.
yeah. So Chris and I laugh a lot. We spend a lot of time together. We enjoy hanging out with each other. We enjoy having friends over. We enjoy, um, yeah, mostly having friends over. We are cultivating like a peaceful space in our home, um, and inviting people that we want to be in that. And then, I mean, like we'll go out and do things as well. But like both of our jobs are just so whatever that our joy and our happiness is like, hey, you're home from work. Oh my gosh, tell me everything. And then let's do something completely different so that we can
Mm.
have a lot of fun and like play a game or, do something
You're
else.
like the companionship is what gets you
Hmm.
through the stuff you don't want to do. Kind of.
Totally.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I got this image of like the dog who's like been waiting all day and is like, ah, you're home. What?
100%. Yeah. And we both do that, which is adorable, I think. And then
It is.
funny because we have cats, we don't have dog.
You're not
So
dog people.
we're not dog people in any way, but we act it's because
And
we
cats
behave that.
don't give a flying fuck if you're home.
No.
um, yeah, thanks for sharing. As you were talking like that, you helped kind of name what I was feeling, which is that there's a
Okay.
void for you. Like you have like this space where you go to work and you do what other people want, and you look forward to the space where you get to just be yourself, and that's what something your partner offers you.
Yes.
Um, and so so you don't want to fill the void in the terms of like you don't want to just reach for anything, but we got to find a way to fill the void, change the void for you, like
Okay.
um so that it doesn't feel like that picture of that dog again who's just like hmm, like
Oh.
all
Yeah.
day waiting, and that's so much time and space of that dog's life, that of just like, and it's so much time and space of your life where you're just waiting to be who you get
Like
waiting to a moment
myself.
where you get to be who you are again.
Yeah.
So um so yeah, as you're talking, I just kind of letting you know kind of some of the behind the scenes. I usually leading up to a reading, I invite in anyone in the spirit realm who's in your corner. So
Okay.
that like I call it a loving relationship with you, which means like pure love. Like they want what's best for you, and they are helping you get there. And I invite them in and with any messages they have. And then I also kind of shore up my own kind of spiritual support so that I'm not this isn't my stuff that's coming through. Although
Yeah.
my story will interweave with yours because that's how it works. But at the same time, these are not messages that have my energy footprint on them. They're yours. Um,
Okay.
so that's partly why I wanted you also just to kind of start naming some of these things so that you have your there's power in that, like vocalizing things and what you want and framing them. But it also has helped me. I've been drawing the cards the whole time, so it helps like
Oh, okay.
kind of guide the cards to come out too. Um, so I'm going to take a screenshot of this, and then I'll send it to you, and
Okay.
then that way what I found is like people really like having I hold up the cards, but this way you can kind of control if you want to like zoom in on them or like stay looking
Mm-hmm.
while I talk or any of that.
Yeah.
You have more control. Um, and I'll crop my feed out of it. um, does amethyst mean anything to you? Like the stone amethyst?
I don't know much about crystals.
Okay.
That's,
Okay.
yeah,
When is your birthday?
August 23rd.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
My best friend from high school is her birthday.
I love that.
Little Virgos. Okay.
Yep.
What's your phone number?
765-499-2470.
2470. Okay. I'm texting this to you.
Okay.
That just seems a little easier to get it right into your hands. Um, and I'm just going to dive right in. You cool with that?
Yeah.
Okay. So the main deck I'm using for the 12 months is the Gentle Tarot. This is that guy. And
Okay.
the creator her name's Mari. She's indigenous. That whole deck is like based on her time in Alaska. So there's a lot of nature themes that come through. And then she built a companion deck called My Friend Fire,
Okay.
and that's the two center cards that you see, and those are the year themes.
Okay.
So that keeps coming up in almost every reading as like the fire deck wants to be the theme, and
Hmm.
I think that plays a little bit into the fact that the Chinese New Year and is in February, and that starts the year of the fire horse.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
So, just a little bit of context of where we are and where we're going. The This year has been the year of the wood snake. It's been a lot of shedding, a lot of like letting go, but it's the kind of letting go that's like it's a process, right? Like if you think about like shedding, you're like the snake is literally like moving out of its skin for a period of time, and then it's like, oh, time to let that go. So there may have been like themes where you're like, you've been gradually moving out of them and you're coming to it's not over. Like you still have the month of January in this energy. But you might be coming to that place of like, I'm getting to the point where I'm really ready to let this go. And you will let it go. Also though, keeping in mind that like fire has a burning energy, so anything that is still attached to you, that whether it's like an idea, a narrative, it could be more tangible relationships, those kinds of things, it will just kind of burn off as you go, because
Okay.
the horse energy is also very right? Like we want the horse to move quickly and efficiently toward a destination. And so the fire is it's like I kind of think of that phrase like lighting a fire under your ass. Like there's that vibe. Like that's kind of what this whole next year is going to be about.
Okay.
But this year, in terms of like tarot associations, this year was also the year of the hermit. And that is a lot of internal work that not a lot of people see.
Okay.
In fact, really, until you tell them or show them, no one's really got a clue about what you might have been moving through. Um, and I would, and then so this next year that we're moving into in terms of tarot is the year of the wheel, and that is a little bit. That's a very it's hard to explain, except that the year of the wheel is about like accepting. It's like a deep acceptance that like the wheel keeps turning. So if you're in a good time, um that doesn't last. Like then
Yeah.
it turns. And it's not meant to be like, yeah, good times just don't last. It's more like, this is a good time. Accept it, embrace it, and don't cling to it. Like the next phase is going to be, it could be a dark or a hard time. That doesn't mean also, it also doesn't mean that it's going to last forever. Like everything has a temporary value to it. And, um, and at the same time, the center of the wheel stays steady. So who you are is the core of you is what stays strong. And when we're kind of thinking about combining like fire with the year of the wheel, what you'll see as the wheel turns is that what isn't you goes away. It
Mm.
continues to go away.
Okay.
Um, but it does require your willingness to let go. Because if you hold on to something, it will squirm, and you can squeeze harder, but it will, like you have to willingly open your arms to let go of it, basically.
Okay.
Okay. So that's kind of our context we're moving in. I think it's fascinating that okay, I'll wait till I get there. So your theme cards are the ones in the middle, and
Okay.
today is the first time I had a reading before this, and both of you both had two cards, and I've never had two cards as the theme card before.
Huh. Okay.
So just keep that in mind. I think this is the one that came out first. This is song,
Okay.
and then this one was kind of like, it's like peeking out, like it's like a little
Huh.
kid behind like its mom's legs. It's like,
Oh.
I'm here, but like I'm a little shy about it. Uh,
Okay.
and that is my beautiful innocent heart.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
I find it, so this is how I met you, is because you were doing like singing, like you were
Mm-hmm.
playing and performing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I found that interesting because I'm like, oh, this is a theme. This is a big theme for you.
Yeah.
Um and I don't think it has to translate to performance or like being compensated for that. I think there's like a recognition that like song in all of its iterations is a theme for this year. And so, like, if we think about what that can also mean, it's your voice, right? Like,
Mm. Mm-hmm.
it's the way that your voice shows up in the world. Um, you uniquely use your voice in song. That's part of like your talent, but that doesn't mean that's the only way for it to show up either. Like, you can use the talent of your voice and song um, in a myriad of ways. Like, and so,
Okay.
uh, I'm just going to be like real honest with you. A lot of
Yeah.
the work you're doing this next year is shadow work. Um,
Oof. Okay.
mhm. So these two cards are the happiest. Like they're the brightest that I'm seeing. There's a few months where it's like there's some bright colors here, but the overall theme that I'm seeing is like it's shadow. There's a lot of muted colors. There's a lot of like deep internal work, but
Okay.
you can always come back to these things as like the diamond in the rough kind of thing. Like no
Okay.
matter what you're moving through, you can always peel back a layer and you will find joy in like expressing yourself. And
Okay.
and um And maybe music ties into that too, like enjoying music, like someone else creating it for you to enjoy versus you having to create it for others. Um, but then there's like behind there is just like this cute little like porcupine that is
Oh,
my beautiful innocent heart. Like,
oh,
uh, hmm. Okay, I think more is going to come up on that, but I'm going to leave that there for a minute.
okay.
Actually, let me look at the booklet. This is that number 9. Okay, actually, I'm going to read this one to you because I think yeah. Um, it's still like the way that it's like hiding behind the other card. I feel like the energy itself is kind of hiding itself from me. So I'm gonna read this to you, and then this is something that you can just kind of hold throughout the year.
Okay.
Oh, dear one, do you know how precious you are? This card is a gentle reminder of your innate worth, just as you are without needing to prove or adjust anything at all. Listen to your nature. Enjoy the particular place you have in this universe. Like the baby porcupine surrounded by flowers, you are held with love. You are invited to savor your presence and remember the wisdom and innocence of your own heart. Even in moments of struggle or doubt, the earth holds you and your light remains whole. Don't forget you are a precious part of this world, deserving of tenderness, safety, and joy.
Hmm.
So, like, the sense I'm getting is like there is this really tender part of you that um, you've been protecting, rightly so. There's a reason for that. And um, protecting sometimes means building a fortress around.
Mm.
And uh, it's not necessary.
Huh.
Um, so this work, the work you're doing this year is to discover different ways of mama bearing yourself that don't mean shutting yourself away.
Okay. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm. You know, like what I'll say to that too is like you don't have to know what that means right now.
Okay.
You don't have to like figure that out intellectually. Um, a lot of what we're doing with this like work, like with anything we do with like divination practices, which tarot is in that, is we're just literally bringing the subconscious to the conscious level.
Mhm.
So your being knows all this, but your mind and your conscious need to be exposed to it so that it can direct you in the real, like in the material world toward the things you need, or
Okay.
to like help you unpack ideas and narratives, stories that you live under, kind of thing. Okay.
Oh, excuse me.
And feel free to be like, can you tell me more what that means? Or like if something isn't like
Okay.
there will be aspects of this where I will say like you don't necessarily need to know what that means yet.
Mm-hmm.
Just giving it to you so you have for future reference. But if you're like, I don't know what you mean by that term or that phrase, like
Okay.
just tell me, we'll unpack it. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's get into the year itself. So for January, we have uh, one of the major arcana cards. This is Temperance.
Okay.
Um, Major arcana cards. There's the major and then there's the minor. The major have um, like a theme, like temperance, or you have a few coming up through the year.
Hmm.
Um, they tend to pack like a little bit. I say they pack a bigger punch. They're a little bit stronger of a energy, whereas the suit cards tend to be a little bit more flexible, a little bit permeable. You could think of them as like waves that come in and out, whereas the major arcana cards are more. like stable and
Okay.
a little bit more obvious, I would say. Um, so so this is one of the few, like I said, that are lighter in nature um, to the other cards throughout the year. That doesn't necessarily mean they're better or anything like that. It's just that there's more of a sense of like your being just feels light. Um, Temperance is usually like your hmm, there's like a sense of equanimity in your days where like nothing's upsetting you necessarily. Um, it's like everyday joys, like, but they're, it's not, there's nothing wild. Like, not, there's not a lot of ups and downs. Um,
Okay.
I know that feels like what do you like, what? Give me something.
Mm,
It's a gift because of the shadow work that you're going to be doing. Like, it's a gift to have some space to ready yourself for that. And that doesn't mean you have to like do anything. You don't have to
okay.
like it's almost like your being is like your being is preparing you for something and you don't really have to do any. It's like your mom is packing the bags for you. You don't have
Okay.
to do any of the work. So
Okay.
if things feel easy, let that be true.
Okay.
Okay? Like you're going to be like, "Man, but Kirsty said this year is going to be like, yeah,
Yeah.
but not yet." Like the 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 Chinese astrological year doesn't start until February. So like I think this feels like the gap between what you've kind of shed off from this year. You get like a little reprieve before the horse ignites kind of thing.
Okay. Okay.
So if it feels easy, let it be easy. Like just be like, this is what Christy said was going to happen. I'm just going to vibe with it and trust that like the the work I'm meant to do this year will meet me when it's time. And I think that can be really hard if you're the kind of person who's like always trying to grow and expand. Is to like
Mm-hmm.
there is a phase of that process where you do have to be a little bit more intentional and like reaching out and looking for the resources, and it can feel like it's always supposed to be that way, but it's not. Like growth and expansion meets you in phases and cycles, and when you get to that phase of realizing that's how it works, you can kind of chill out. Like when it's time to chill out, be chill. Like it's okay.
Okay.
Um so February I would say is when the work begins. The beauty is like universe and your higher self are going to let you know that you have everything you need. You're going to have like this really big epiphany moment. That's what the magician is. The magician is
Okay.
like you're going into the shadow world. It's dark, but all the tools, all the light that you need, you see it's in her being.
Yeah.
It's literally in you. And this is I think this is one of the most beautiful gifts I have recognized in moving through growth stages is the universe always starts out a new phase by giving you things easily. Like
Mm.
you come across opportunities, you come across people, you come across like inner knowing, and it's just it feels very easy and accessible. Like the universe is just like packing it in, And because you need some obvious reminders at the beginning of something to feel like you can get through the next phases where things might feel desolate, things might feel less accessible. Like you kind of need an easy in. So the magician is also a it's also a major arcana. It is number one. There's only one before it in the major arcana though, and it isn't, so it's always the beginning of the journey. And I it's kind of like that it's kind of the like pioneers, you know, when they're like, okay, I'm gonna go do this thing, and
Mm-hmm.
they get their wagon and they get all of their food staples and they get like their wagon train and they get like all the things that are going to go with them on the journey. Like um just disclaimer, I'm like, I don't celebrate pioneer shit anymore because it's like, yeah, they went and like took
Colonizer shit. Yeah.
yeah, right. But I think that the metaphor is good still. Like you set off on a journey with everything you need. And I think that's really what the magician card is doing, is like you're getting ready to do some shit. Like it's gonna be real good. Some of it's gonna be real hard. Some of it's not
Okay.
gonna feel good, but like you have all the tools you need. Um, and it's fascinating to me that that's like corresponding with the start of the horse year, because it's like
Hmm.
you really are loading up. Like you really are like loading up for the journey.
All right.
Um yeah, so like it might be good in that month to help bring some of this like this metaphysical theoretical stuff down to earth, is to like all through the month of February to like note the tools or the connections, or like note the things that are coming
Mm.
into your sphere, like write
Okay.
them down somewhere so that
Okay.
you have like that to reflect back on, like when you're moving through, like, oh, right, I forgot that thing happened in February that reminds me of this part of myself, or that person reached out to me and said to talk to them anytime I need to. Like, you know, so you have that to come
Okay.
back to when the time comes. Um okay. March, and also I do like to kind of put this disclaimer that like I don't really believe in linear time anymore. It's still something we have to exist in because of our constructs, but um really what I'm outlining for you is a path for your year.
Got it.
So these
Yeah.
are like phases of your year versus like
Right.
rigid months.
Specifically in March, this hobby. Yeah. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
like this might be something you move through in 1 week in the March
Mm-hmm.
timeframe, but or it
Right.
might be it bleeds over into mid February. That's like mid February to mid April, actually, like that kind
Mm-hmm.
of thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just kind of keeping in mind, it's more like stepping stones than it
Okay.
is like distinctive once the calendar turns. Um, but I also do like to go back and just be like at the beginning of a new month, I go back to my own spread, and the way I do it is I actually put them in my planner. So then when
Okay.
I turn to a new month, I'm like, I wonder what the energy is going to be like this month. And that's kind of what I reflect on. And I will depend, I don't do this every month. It's not a consistent pattern, but I do like kind of look at it and like, should I reevaluate this energy? Like that's what we said a year ago, but like, should I reevaluate this to see if this is still kind of, or does this have more information for me? Like I'll go back
Okay.
and I'll use my own deck for that. So, um, just something to consider. There's a lot of resources that talk about these cards. So you can always just like, you know, browse online resources or look at a book, or it's, uh, it's like, I'm giving you the title of your chapter.
Gotcha.
What's your
Gotcha.
chapter
Okay.
going to look like? That's up to you.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So moving into March, we have the 10 of Stones. And uh, stones correlate with pentacles in the traditional tarot. It's like the material world, really, is what we're
Mm-hmm.
talking about. And I think what's fascinating about, well, okay, look at the little kitty in the book.
Yes. So cute.
There's also chickens. I don't know if chickens are in your future.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. But what's fascinating about this is like it can be either merging, like you're kind of merging with like the universe and like your higher self and all this, or you could be fading into the background of your current life.
Hmm.
And
Okay.
I think that those two have very similar vibes in that they both mean a new reality, like a different reality from the one you're in. But the one is, it's like an invitation. You have the option to merge more with like a higher self, like version of your life. Like, oh, I'm going to move toward that. Or you have the option to blend into the background of the life you're living. And the merging is risky, it's exposing, it's very vulnerable. The background is comfortable and safe,
Yep.
but it is also a huge sacrifice of who you are. If you are just blending into the background of your life, you are not living a rich, expansive life, which I'll just be honest is what you want, or you wouldn't be having this conversation with me. Like, you're looking for the tools for that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if blending in, if you start to feel that energy pulling at you, it's good to notice that. I am actually just trying to blend into my life. I'm trying to make no ripples. I'm trying to keep all the peace. And in exchange, I'm giving up myself. I'm
Yeah.
exchanging my identity for that. You can choose that. This is not a
Mm-hmm.
judgment on the choices, but I want you to know that's what you're choosing instead of just like unconsciously going toward it. That makes sense.
Yeah. Totally.
Okay.
Okay.
It's kind of like, to me, that card is like a, it's a fork in the road, but it's also a warning sign. Like,
Okay.
hey, you're going to be tempted to do this. Like,
Yeah.
you know, okay, so it's like a fork in the road in the sense that like you're going to get the invitation to grow, and then the old narrative of like, oh, but don't make waves
Yeah.
is going to pull at you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to pull at old parts of you, which I think is where this fire horse energy comes in. And it's like you get to choose to turn the fire hose on that old way of being.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason you get to choose is because actually you're an autonomous being. So you, from here on out, like, you get to decide if old things get the fire torch.
Okay.
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 And that is meant to empower you because
Hmm.
as you choose to burn off things that don't work for you anymore, then you get to
Mm.
choose the things that do. And
Yeah.
that's actually what this whole year is about for you, is like stepping into your empowerment, stepping into the fact that you're an autonomous being and nothing happens to you. You
Mm.
choose it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah.
Does that feel familiar to you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've spent a lot of time just kind of like not wanting to be noticed, not wanting to make a mess of things. And yeah, that hasn't been super helpful or life giving. So,
Yeah, it's usually not. It's usually not because like
yeah.
if you're afraid of making a mess, that means that there's something about the constructs you're in that does not support you as a person.
Mm.
Because
Okay.
if you're afraid of it becoming too messy, if who you are makes it too messy,
Yeah.
then that means you're not safe there. Like, you're not actually safe to be who you are.
Okay.
And
Okay.
that means those constructs need to come down. If you want to
Yeah.
be the version of you where you come home and you're like with your partner and you're excited to be alive,
Yeah.
you want to be that all day long, that means
Mm-hmm.
things have to come down in your world.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And just as a reminder, like, you're fully supported in doing that. Like, you're fully supported. You will not be bereft. You will not be like left out in the cold. If you burn your house down, you have a place to go and it's better. That's
Okay.
what that means. It doesn't mean if you burn your
Yep.
house down, you're just outside and fending for
Mm.
yourself. Like
Right, right.
this whole, the whole like scheme of all of this is like your higher self wants this for you. And if that is true, which I believe it is, that means that they have things lined up for you once you
Hmm.
decide to step out.
Okay.
Okay. April, we've got the Eight of Stones. We're kind of sticking in this like world, material
Yeah.
world. So what's fascinating to me is like, okay, this this gives me the vibes of like your higher self is like overseeing the work, the new work that you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like a rudimentary heart. So
Oh,
this is kind of what the heart looks like as it's becoming a heart.
okay.
Like not to get like super medical on you, but like embryology, which is like the study of like how we develop into who we are through that
Mm-hmm.
as an embryo, right? The heart is one of the first things that comes together because we like our beings have decided that like oxygen and is the most important thing for our whole thing, our whole
Yeah.
system. And
Yeah.
the heart's one of the first things to come together, and it looks like this. Now,
Hmm.
this is going to be meaningful to you because I'm going to actually I don't like to like skip ahead, but I think it's important why this is meaningful to you. And it's because this is December.
Oh, interesting.
It's a
Okay.
whole fully functioning heart.
Okay.
So, you know, in our like heart symbolism is like passion, like what you love, what you are like, what gives you life, right? We're just talking about that. Like, how do we animate those parts of your life that feel like you're just moving through them to get to the other parts that help you feel alive? Like, how
Mm-hmm.
do we bring
Mm-hmm.
heartbeat into that? And I think this is the month for that. Like, you're going to start to get the the most rudimentary tools that you need to get you to this. Where if this is you, dude, like this isn't just your heart in your chest. Like this is the face in the heart. Like you're like, yeah, like,
Okay.
yeah. Um, and so like there's a sense of, so it's interesting because that's Eight of Stones and then that's three. They're not necessarily in progression with each other, but again, I don't think that always matters because the sense I'm getting from this is like in the very first, so that heart coming together, that happens within weeks of the sperm and the egg coming together. It's like within weeks you have a rudimentary heart that can at least pump blood. And it's in deep secret. Like there's often people don't even realize they're pregnant at this point. There's like you're if you do, you're not telling anyone yet. Like you're waiting to even you're just like even waiting to get to the doctor to confirm that you're right. Like it is the deepest and it's in your fucking womb, right? Like it's in like the core of you. And so it's like there's a sense that like this thing is taking shape and you may not even be aware of it,
Hmm. Okay.
like and that's the mystery magic of it all, is that your conscious awareness is only one piece of the puzzle. Like you have so many other awarenesses that are going on your behalf, and it's the it's going back to the magician where it's recognizing that you've gotten all these tools. It's the month before that where you chose, like the reason you're here is because the month before that you chose to stop being a wallflower. Like you
Hmm.
actively moved away from that. Now you're not necessarily consciously aware of it, although you might get hints. You're going to get hints like people in that, they're like, well, I felt like a little twinge. I feel like a little sick. I feel like a little, there's going to be little tiny hints of it.
Okay.
And all of that to say is, I'm telling you now because you're going to be able to look for the signs more that something is shifting.
Okay.
That's all you'll be aware of though, is like something is shifting. And
Mm-hmm.
what you can do though is, because that's all you'll be aware of, what you can then do is like um protect it. Like something's shifting. I'm not going to pick it apart. I'm not going to um I'm not going to open it up to people I don't trust. Like, because, we
Mm-hmm.
can share these things with people, and there are people who will literally smash it right out the gate.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
They'll do it in the guise of wanting to help you. Like, they'll do it in like a, ooh, are you sure you want to, like, even if you're just like, I'm thinking about X, Y, like, are you sure? Are you sure? Because that, like, you tried that before and it didn't work. Or, you know, um, that's kind of scary. How are you going to pay your bills? Like they're going to be coming from a place of concern, but it's not helpful for that little thing that's growing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you'll just want to be discerning and selective about who you're
Mm,
new stuff with, or how, like, sense that, like, and it might not even, it's not even, like, the thing is, like, an embryo, it's like an enigma. It doesn't even fucking look like a baby. Like,
uh-huh.
it's so gross looking and weird, and you're just like, so it's like an enigma. It's not even anything you have an idea about.
Okay.
You might just be like, I feel like a change is coming.
Mm-hmm.
In being careful who you share that with, because what you want is people who are going to say, who are going to midwife it for you. Like, that's what
Okay.
you want. And you don't just let anyone touch the baby, right? You don't just let anyone into that part of your life. So um it might be good in the next few months, or next couple months, kind of even through that magician phase, is just to ask, like, who gets me? Like,
Yeah. Okay.
who gets me, and who would be safe for me
Mm.
to share this with? And if it's only one or two people, don't be surprised. Like, that is also going to be a defining, that's going to be a defining uh process for you, because then you're going to see things differently. Like, hey, if I was doing something new and I shared it with so and so, what would they say? And you can
Mm-hmm.
predict. People are predictable. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, if I share, like, and I'm not saying people can't change, but like, I don't share things I'm creating anymore when they're in their rough stages with my sister, because my
Mm-hmm.
sister says predictable things like, oh, well, so how are you going to pay the bills? So,
Right.
like, why do you think you're, and she may not say this with her words, but it's like her tone, it's like a
Mm-hmm.
lot of things. It's
It
not
comes across.
physical words, it's like how they treat you around it.
Mhm.
If they're anything less than, hell yeah, I got your back, you don't want that energy during this time.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Because it's fragile, and so are you. Like, that's the thing. You're vulnerable in that too.
Okay.
All right. May is a nice little break month. This is kind of what I mean about, like, you're going to get ample space to, like, prepare and recover from things that are happening. So we have
Oh, that looks great.
ups. Yeah, right. It feels good, doesn't it? Like, yeah, there's it's almost like um you've moved out of, like, I hate to keep using pregnancy terms, and I'm sorry if that bothers you. Um and if it does, please tell me. Like, I will.
It honestly does a little bit. I've got a little bit of a phobia of pregnancy. Thank you for asking.
Okay, okay, we'll move away from that then.
Thank you.
Um because yeah, the incubation period is, it does, that can be so many other metaphors,
Totally.
does not
Yeah. Yeah.
do that. Um so this is like, there's like this is like this is definitely a reprieve from all
Okay.
of that guardedness around things. There's a little, it's almost like you've made the space what you need it to be. and you can relax into that a little bit. And
Okay.
this doesn't have to be physical. Like it is, um, it can be internal just as much as external. In fact, I think sometimes it's more internal. Like you've come to a place internally of like, hey, you know what? I can relax. I can rest into this. Um, and it's it's cups, which is associated with water, which is a little bit more of the emotional space. Um,
Yeah.
it can be a challenge for my little earth sign people to feel comfortable in. In fact, I do think it's interesting because she's like on the land.
Yeah.
So it's like it's like I'm gonna enjoy this emotional stuff from my grounded place on the earth
Uh-huh.
very much, but
Yep.
that's working for you. It works for you. So don't feel like you have to force anything. You don't have
Okay.
to like tread into deep waters to get the outcome you need. You can do it as you. Like that's the beauty. And I think you start to come into this. You get a glimpse of this. I'll say that. You get a glimpse of this. I can do this as who I am. I don't
Hmm.
have to force anything to happen that doesn't align with me. I don't have to change myself
Okay.
for this process or for the places that I want to be in to work.
Okay.
Okay. Um and you'll need that because in the next phase is kind of moving through some grief.
Oof. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Um I know. Oof. Nope. I don't think this is like a people are like, "Ooh, yay, that card."
Right.
Uh there's it I'm getting the sense there's going to be a temptation to what's the word? It's not rejection, but it is like a form of denial that the things that have come before this must not have been real
Ah.
if you feel this way. Or
Yeah.
if you're having to let go of something this important to you, you must have made a misstep. And that is not true. Um, like I was sharing before, like anything we are holding on to into this next year that isn't right for us to move toward the most authentic version of our lives, it has to leave. The fire will make sure of that. So it's not that you made a misstep. In fact, it's that you've made all the right steps. And in doing so, you and your life have identified something that doesn't work as you make those steps. And you're going to have to let go of it. And I think the reason it's showing up as like one of your stepping stones for the year is because it's going to hurt a lot. And you get to know that now so that you can reframe the grief as something that both hurts a lot and as a necessary component of your journey. And um, the evolution of you is being able to hold both, like, is being able to say, I really fucking hate this. And I really am going to keep moving into it, moving toward it. Like, because here's the thing. So when we're operating from like a young, immature version of ourselves, we hold these truths away from us because how else will we keep walking forward if we know that pain is on the path ahead of us, right? As in a young, immature version, we have to um, we just we can't know it, but you're getting the opportunity to know it so you can make conscious steps toward it. And that's your empowerment. That those are the key ingredients for your empowerment, is moving towards something that you know will hurt you, but it's because it's for your greater good. And have you seen the movie The
Mm-mm.
Arrival or The Arrivals? It's got like it's got Amy Adams and uh oh gosh, Ryan, I forget his name, but he was like run over by a snowplow in a couple years.
Oh no.
He like lived. It's like really crazy and wild. But anyway, he's in the
Oh,
Marvel movies and stuff. Anyway,
okay.
they like um okay, are you the kind of person who's like no spoilers? Because I have to tell you some spoilers for this movie. I don't want to.
I feel like it's going to be relevant, so go ahead.
Okay,
That's
okay, okay. You'll probably, here's the beauty. You'll probably forget it, and then you'll watch the movie, and you'll be like, "Holy shit, this feels so
okay.
relevant." Because I find that happens, and it makes me laugh. But
Okay.
okay, so she is a linguist and he is like in the military or something. And these huge, like egg shaped things have like landed in various parts of the world. And they're like, but they haven't landed, they're not touching the ground, but they're like hovering. And
Okay.
so they're assembling these teams, of course, to go figure out what's going on. And they turn out to be aliens, of course, right? And uh, all through the movie though she's getting these flashes like of moments with this guy, like intimate moments. They're dancing, they're kissing, there's a kid involved, like, and you're all throughout this you think they're flashbacks, but the reality of the storyline keeps coming through, which is that she's just meeting this dude.
Mm. Okay.
And the gift the aliens give her, because she learns how to speak their language, is that she is that they give her the gift of time as an illusion, that she gets to
Got it.
see all of her life
Okay.
and make choices. And one of those is that the daughter these two end up having dies of cancer.
Got it. Okay.
And the very last choice she makes is to pursue her relationship with him. Like, she
Even though,
consciously moves toward it because there's
yeah.
all these beautiful moments that they share.
Yeah.
And that is like, that's an empowered move, is knowing pain is ahead of you and you move toward it because the beauty will like be worth the journey. And so I just feel like this month is really significant, not just because it hurts, but because you are deciding now to go forward anyway.
Okay. Hmm.
And that does, I'll just say that doesn't take the sting away at all. It just gives you insight. So,
Okay.
yeah, it's funny because it's like I talk about like the major arcanas packing a punch, but that month has, there's a lot there for you. Like, there's just a lot you're going to come out with, of that with. Um, And the fascinating part of that is like the next month is the Root of Cups, and it's like
Hmm.
uh it's an evolution of emotional depth. But also someone pointed this out to me. This is like this is the salmon shed their
Yeah.
scales when they're getting ready to spawn.
Oh, okay.
So there's like this sense of like you're birthing a new version of yourself. Like it's like the gift of that is that you get to birth something new. Sorry that
That's okay.
you're bringing a new version of yourself into the world that is like you've been wanting to do this for a long time.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
um Now you get to, like, now you will, because you chose, because you actively chose to move on this path in this way. This is something you get to do as a result of that.
Okay.
Are you like, in your, like, with your job and stuff, have you ever considered making your own thing? Like making your own, going your own way?
Like consultancy.
I don't know, because I don't quite fully know what you do, but just like, has it come around for you?
I've thought about it and I've decided it wasn't really for me.
Okay.
But
What about it made it not for you?
um um it's just very, first of all, at the time I was considering it, I didn't have the skills. I couldn't do it.
Okay.
But now it's very like, that's super dangerous,
Hmm.
and I don't really have the business acumen to be able to pull that off. I'm the primary breadwinner. That's just not a good idea.
Hmm. Okay.
Um, but it's interesting that you're saying all this because my job is definitely like, I'm not going to say on the rocks, but like, so I'm a grant writer.
Okay.
So I'm seeking funding for
Yeah.
stuff every day,
Yeah.
and federal funding. I don't know if you've like followed, but that's a hot steaming pile of shit right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's about to change, and like my executive director is like kind of on the ropes with some of the board members, and it's just like things are tenuous. I don't know how long this is going to be fine,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So it's not a terrible idea to start thinking about how else I could apply my skills.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah. Um, I would say within that context, it would be good to write down what your skills are, like as you
okay.
see them now,
Hmm.
and as like you may not be able to, but be open to how they can evolve. Like, okay, this is how this
Yeah.
is literally playing out in my life, but then be open
Yeah.
to it looking differently.
Yeah.
And make a list of those fears, the old fears. Make a list of those too,
Okay.
because I have a feeling this path that you're on is going to invite you to kind of transmute those things and see them differently. That's a
Okay.
lot of what's coming through with June is like, um, there's a whole new version of you ready to emerge.
June's the end of the fiscal year. That actually makes a lot of sense.
That's hilarious. Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, so be ready for
Okay.
that. Like, however you can be ready for a big shift. Although I think the
Yeah.
shift is going to be happening. Like, I don't think it's going to be, June isn't going to be just like you wake up one day and it's like,
Out of
oh
nowhere. No.
shit, I had no idea. You're going to know.
Yeah.
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 Um, and just like anything new, you're not going to be able to swim in a straight line. Like,
Mm.
you're going to be young in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to feel weird, you know, but I don't think it's going to feel, um, like, you know, the thing is about salmon is like, they don't spawn until the end of their life. So they
That's
know
fair.
it's coming,
Yeah.
and, and then their life transforms. So it's like, there's an aspect of it of like, mm, there's an ancient wisdom aspect of it of like, deep down, you knew this was coming
Yeah.
and you know how to do it. You actually do have the skills, and you don't have to have them in any kind of like LinkedIn resume version
Okay. Okay.
bullshit. It's just
Yeah. Yeah.
like, tap in, like it is there. The
Okay.
salmon
Okay.
don't fucking know how to swim back to where they came from. Are you like, you know what I mean? Like the
Yeah.
wildness of that is that they move on pure instinct to go back to where they came from. Like,
Right.
to move in a direction they've never taken before. They move on instinct. That is you. That is where you will be. And it will
Okay.
feel like, this is why it's going to be so important that you have the people around you who see that in you,
Mm-hmm.
so that they can be like, it's okay. It's okay. They're going to like keep you on track. Whereas if you have the people that are like going to deter you in any way,
Yeah.
it's going to be so much harder to swim upstream. Like that's the other thing. Swimming or swimming upstream, dude. Like everything is a feels like it's against them, but they're moving on intuition.
Mm-hmm.
So having those one or two people in your corner who are like, no, keep going, it will make all the difference. It'll make
Okay.
that swimming upstream. It's still gonna be hard, but it won't feel insufferable. Like, like it won't feel impossible. It'll just be
Okay.
hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. There's some serious stuff coming through here. Whew.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rough year.
Yeah.
We're only halfway through.
that's that's how it is in a fire year. Holy shit. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So July we got the Ace of Cups. I think you get
Okay.
get a little reprieve here. But it's a little bit more like it's a little bit more like recovery than reprieve. Um it's like okay, okay, the vibe I'm getting is like old school, like when they sent people off to the solariums and they,
Yes.
you know what I mean? And they like literally sat in wheelchairs out in the
Right.
sun.
Yes.
That's this month for you.
Have some time by the seaside. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. Fresh air, sunshine, cup of water or tea or
Okay.
like your favorite beverage. That's the vibe. Is like you've done some immense work swimming upstream. You get to like you get a little bit of a break. But let that break be truly revitalizing for you. Like learn how to take rest, learn how to do active recovery. And by that I
Okay.
mean you uh you resist the need need to do something to recover. Um
Okay.
this is hard because we don't there's not a lot of examples to draw on in our culture because we don't capitalism and does not allow this really, but it is kind of that old school idea of like, yeah, go take yourself to take yourself to your favorite part of your house, take yourself to your backyard, and then do nothing there. Like then just literally sit there.
Oh my God, that's so hard.
Right?
Okay.
Let yourself be tended. Like, okay, I love this too. It has like the little bird and it reminds me of
Oh.
Cinderella, where like animals tend to her.
Uh-huh.
Okay, it's like that. Let yourself be tended to
Okay.
because
That's
you're
really hard.
creating something new in the world that the world needs. And that means that you deserve to be cared for as well. Like, if the world needs it that bad, they will answer you with the resources and the care and the that you need. But oftentimes we don't see that until we actually sit our ass down and let it come to us. So, like, that's your only charge that month is to like do nothing.
Okay.
Or like
Okay.
that stepping stone. Like after you've done all the swimming upstream and you come to a rest point, let the
Yep.
rest be real rest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. I don't feel like I need to drill that home anymore, but
That makes
um,
sense. Yeah.
like you said, it's very hard to do. So it's not like you're doing nothing. In fact, you're probably doing way more because you're not actively like
Uh-huh.
trying to fill that space, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Just be. What? How do I just be?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think we think of recovery and we think of like, oh, well then I need physical therapy. I need someone to be
Right.
like I need someone to be kind of pushing me and I need someone.
Mm-hmm.
It is not that kind of recovery.
No. I really
You need like the
just
little
so
birds to come
stressed.
and go, do you need some food? Let me put that in your mouth. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. All right. We could get real weird on there, so I'm gonna move along. But okay. So the next kind of energy that you'll be moving into then is like it's for real. All right.
Okay.
So September is High Priestess vibes here.
Okay.
And this is I would say like you're not yet moving into you're not yet the energy, you're not yet embodying this fully, but this energy is available to you. You get to access this and let it move you forward. And high priestess is the second, it's the second right after the magician, but it's the feminine, it's the empowered feminine, divine feminine energy.
Okay.
And um it's like in some of the versions she's like the queen and all the animals and all of creation come to her, and like she gives them, she like speaks life to them. So it's an energy that breathes life and creation into being.
Okay.
It's intensely powerful and empowered. And like I said, we're not fully there yet where you are that energy, but it is available to you, which means that you have progressed in your journey. If that energy is available to you to lean on and to like and to help you in what you're doing, then it does mean you have progressed. You are moving toward a state of empowerment. And so even if there are moments where you don't feel like you're empowered, you get to pull this energy into your life and lean on it a little bit in that way. Um,
Okay.
and you're going to feel like that if you're putting something new into the world. You're absolutely going to feel like you don't know what you're doing. You don't know how to animate this thing. You don't know how to, you don't. And that's all very natural. So instead of collapsing in on yourself as like, again, it's kind of that thing we ran into earlier in the year is like, holy shit, I made a mistake. I made a misstep. I don't,
Mm, mm.
let's work on this month reframing that to actually, I have all the tools and resources I need. That has been made obvious to me from many, many months ago. And I'm going to draw on high priestess energy to kind of push me through these moments of crisis.
Okay.
October is the seed of thunder, and thunder correlates to wands in the traditional tarot, or excuse me, swords. It's kind of like, it's usually like communication, like inner thoughts, outer words, um, that whole realm of things. And
Okay.
the reason it's swords in the traditional tarot is because swords have a double edge, right? Like you can cut through something, but you can also be cut by it. And um, I what I love is this like little Arctic fox is like, "Ee,
Mm.
ee." Like he's like, it's almost like he's like jumping, trying to jump above it, like
Yeah.
high. Um, and but it's like it it's like it also correlates to kind of like the night energy in the original, like in the traditional tarot, where it's like there's like a noble vibe, like I have a noble purpose, and
Okay.
uh,
Okay.
and sometimes it's a little directionless, like there's
Mm.
uh you're still kind of relying on um like stronger, more empowered, like the night, it takes its orders from someone else,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? So
Yep.
there's still a little bit of that, like, okay, I'm setting off on a noble mission, and I still need someone to help me with the directions
Yep. Yep.
to my noble.
Yep.
So again, it's a humility of again, doing something new in the world and not quite knowing how to get there, but you have a clear idea. You do have a clear purpose. It's just that you've never done it before, and you've never moved through that land before. So, um, accepting, there's also though a discernment, there's a maturity with the night that doesn't happen with the page. So like in that trajectory, you've got the page who's like, okay, I'm like a young adolescent and I'm apprenticing myself to someone, where you literally do everything they tell you, right? Like this is not quite that. It's There's still this progression of discernment. Like, um,
Okay.
you are you do need to take direction from some people. But as we've talked about through this whole year, it's really important who those people are. And you're learning that through this phase. So you might stumble into like people whose advice you don't that's not actually useful. Like
Yeah.
initially it might feel really appealing, but then you're like you dig a little deeper, you're like, "Ugh, that doesn't feel good in here." Like
Mm-hmm.
so
Okay.
I'm going to actually move away from that. And the example I have from my personal experience is like, um, okay, I'm in the process of like incubating a business myself,
Yeah.
um, and the realizing like, okay, I actually don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I've never done this before.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of strengths and I'm very I'm smart. I don't think I'm
Yeah.
but I don't know how to do this specific thing. And so then I like started opening myself up to different possibilities, and one was this like online, like business coaching, and she's like, "I'm a mentor and you sign up with me and I'll get you six figures in 6 months." Like there
Sure you will.
yeah,
Yeah.
right. There's a lot of that, but it's like packaged in a way that was like hitting some of my more immediate needs, which is like, you
Okay.
need to make money. There will be things where
Yeah.
you're like, I do need this. And those
Mm-hmm.
voices will appeal to that. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
then, but what I wasn't seeing is like, there are actually things underneath that I need more that will be more aligned with me in the direction I'm going. And
Okay.
so I had to kind of fine tune, like, okay, that wasn't it. In the process of considering that, though, another person came across
Mm.
my horizon who was like, oh yeah, and they actually kind of fleshed it out in real time. Oh well, so you want to do this? Well, how are you? Okay, so we
Yeah.
need to figure out a way to tell. And I was like, I'm not even working with you and you're already giving me the wisdom I need.
Okay.
So it was like being able to discern the flashy from the like soul need that I had in that moment. And
Got it.
that's
Okay.
kind of going to be like the trick of this month, is like kind of like this little fox. He's doing like a little dance.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah.
is like, okay, who has what I actually need? And
Hmm.
being able to discern like that is just kind of flashy and it is appealing for this reason. This isn't as flashy, but it's striking a chord internally for me. And I
Okay.
like learning to go with your own internal wisdom versus your what might seem on the surface to meet your needs, if that makes sense. um
Okay.
in other words, you got to trust your gut on this one.
Ah, got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
um okay. Moving into our card for November is the Nine of Stones.
Okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
this is like, okay,
Huh.
so to me, this is like you've made peace with the shadow work. In fact, you find joy in all parts of yourself at this point. Like
Okay.
the shadowy parts are no longer an enemy or something to be afraid of.
Huh. Okay.
You move through them with lightness.
Hmm.
You bring your own light to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And man, you're just fucking happy, dude. Like, and like that's like the thing about, kind of setting out on this journey where I was like, yeah, there's a lot of shadow work, and you're like, that
Yeah.
that like feeling of like almost like fine, like consignment, right? Where you're just like, fine.
100%. Yeah.
It's more like, oh, I know how to do this now. And even when I
Hmm.
encounter shadow in my life, I know that it's not the end. Uh,
Right.
and that's coming back to the theme of the year, one of the themes of the year, which is the year of the wheel. It's like you're going to get to a place toward the end where you're like, okay, this is a shadowy part. Oh, this is another part of myself I didn't know existed. It's coming forward. It wants to be met. I can meet that. I can move through that. It can still be hard, but I know I'm going to move through it and there's going to be a different phase on the other side. That wheel is going to keep turning. That wheel is going to keep turning. And again, it's not a consignment. I think people like consign themselves to that. Oh, there's just the wheel just keeps turning. It never gets better. In that viewpoint, it never gets better. But you're going to come to a point where you're like, the wheel keeps on turning, but it's because I'm moving toward I'm expanding every time it turns. I'm evolving. I'm going to, you're going to get to this point of the year where it's almost a year from now. You're going to feel totally different. You're going to feel totally
Hmm.
different. You're not going to sit here and have a conversation with someone and be like, I spend most of my day waiting for the time when I get to go home. Like, you're not going to feel that way. You're going to feel a range of other things in that fills that space. And sometimes you're going to be like, I fucking hate getting up because I'm just like, I'm not sure what the day, like, there's spaces in my day where I feel anger, frustration, like whatever. But then there are other spaces in my day where I feel like I'm so grateful. I'm so happy because you're not just getting up and then filling the void, filling time until you get to that
Mm-hmm.
feeling of aliveness.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a really good thing to remember is like that space you feel with your partner where you're just alive with them. That's what's expanding through the day. So it's nothing to
Okay.
be afraid of. Like it's
Okay.
nothing to be afraid of. You're literally just moving your life until it fills all spaces and crevices of your life. And I think
Hmm.
that's what this card is a reminder of is like you exist as you through it all.
Okay.
That joy that you want, that you feel at the end of your day, you get to do that all through the day now.
Huh.
And
All
so like
right.
even when in the days where you're like you disagree with your partner or you don't feel, like there's like tension there, that still is there's still aliveness around that. There's still joy around that. That's what that's going to look like when it fills your whole day. Like
Okay.
there's going to be tension, there's going to be frustration, there's going to be anger, but it's alive. It's alive. It's not you in the background. It's not you just subsisting. It's alive. That's like the gift of it. And then
Okay.
that pulls you right
Hmm.
into December where you're just fucking living right from your heart, dude. Like,
All right.
yeah. Ooh, this is kind of
Hmm.
fun. On my end, when I move this, the heart kind of stays static. And even though,
Oh, I see that too.
yeah, isn't that trippy?
That's wild.
Okay. So
Huh.
that's so that like core of the wheel thing I was talking about. Like your heart,
Okay.
this is you living from your heart, from your
Okay.
center. And no matter what movement comes, like that's steady, it's stable. And that's the stability you've been chasing. Like
Hmm.
been wanting stability and those fears you discussed earlier, they've been keeping you in this place because that's what stability seems like to you, but this is actual stability. You don't know it yet.
Hmm.
You're the ancient wisdom of your being knows it, but you don't know it yet and you will. This is the promise
Hmm.
of this year is that you will understand that stability comes from within you, not outside of you. And no matter
Hmm.
what you do for the rest of your life, you get to operate from that place. Even let's say you create something, let's say you do create your whole new thing, and in 2 years it falls apart. It won't matter. It won't matter because internally you will be so stable that you'll navigate that fine. You will navigate that just fine. You'll realize you had tools you didn't know you had. You'll realize people come along who help you through that. Like it will be such a different reckoning than you have now, which is like you're
Hmm.
probably going to have to tear down the structure that you're in. That's probably where you're going. But the end result is like you find internal stability.
Hmm.
It's going to be just totally different. Totally different.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it also doesn't mean like, how to say this. The reason it's totally different is because if you've been used to developing structures on land in the external world, then you won't understand it until you're in it. And which is, that's how evolution works. You're not going to really understand your a year from now self right now, or you would be there,
Okay.
right? Like you'd be that
Sure.
person. But stability, when I say stability, I don't necessarily mean that it's that everything is always the same, in the way that, like, if you lay a foundation on a literal house, you hope that foundation doesn't ever shift or change, right? This is like the kind of stability, it's like the way trees bend in the wind.
Okay.
Okay, so the difference is, like, if you see a tree that has died, it will it's no longer flexible, and it will break. Like when the wind hits it, it will break.
Hmm.
That's what building external stability is like. If you only build stability in the physical world, and you
Okay.
don't pay attention to what's happening internally,
Yeah.
when a wind hits, you break. And so it makes you afraid of the storms. It makes you afraid of change. It makes you afraid of, like, of grief, of hard emotions, because all those things threaten to break you. Whereas when you shore up your internal stability, those things come and they bend you. You bend, you move, but you don't break. And that is what you'll start to become comfortable with, is that as this doesn't happen overnight, it happens over time. So you'll get to notice it as it does. As that internal stability starts to it starts to shore itself up. And I think this tree analogy is perfect, actually, because it's the tree becoming more alive. The
Mm.
more alive
Okay.
you are, the more resilient you are.
Hmm.
That's the reality of being a human. So as you make these choices to move through this year, trust that that's the process you're undergoing. You are undergoing a process of becoming more alive. And the more alive you become, the more resilient you become. So change wins, like those things that your fear voice says, like, oh, no, we can't do it, that actually will become, you'll actually, I don't know that you'll ever be like, yay, come along, like, come and hit me. But you'll be like, oh, I know how to deal with you. I know
Hmm.
that I'm going to bend a little bit, and I'm going to have
Yeah.
to, like, be flexible in this time, but I'm going to come through it. You'll learn that trust will develop, and it'll start to, I don't know. I do think you can transmute the fear voices, but I think over time for you, it will be that your fear voice is less strong, because it's more those parts of you that are afraid are being reassured by these parts of you that are bringing in more stability. They'll be reassured to the point that they won't be so loud anymore, because
Okay.
they won't be screaming anymore.
Yeah.
They won't need to scream anymore.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah. So that's a lot. how how is that, what's that stirring up for you? Like, how's that landing for you right now?
Yeah. So that just sounds like more stepping into equanimity, and yes, I will be okay. And man, it just makes me tired to think about it. I'm
Sure.
like, really? I thought I just did like a ton of work,
Yeah.
and there's always more. And the fact that you're like, but don't look for the work. I'm like, I'm always looking for the work.
Of course you
Like,
are. Of course you are, my little Virgo. Yeah. So that's probably why that message came through. Don't look for it, because
yeah,
yeah, it's hard not to. And
right.
um the are you familiar with, like, the idea of the spiral? Like, or that, like, the concept of, like, learning in a spiral?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So there's this concept of, like, how we evolve is through a spiral. So if you imagine, like, every lesson you've ever learned, there's like a spiral, like a shell. Um,
Okay.
you know how, like, a shell goes around until it hits the point.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So imagine, like, every lesson you've ever learned and are going to learn is, you start when you're at the very beginning of that lesson, you start at the very beginning of the spiral.
Okay.
And that first go round, is a lot. It's the biggest part. It's the longest, most drawn out part. And
Mhm.
it feels like that because you're encountering something for the very first time.
Mhm.
It's like it feels like the learning curve is so steep. You just
Yeah.
you don't even know how you're getting through it. And then you come to kind of a resting point. And you're like, oh, okay, that's over. It's not over. You're just on the next level. But the beauty of the next level is like it's a little shorter and you have all the tools you gained from the first level to help you. So it doesn't feel as hard. It's still challenging. There's still, because you're still learning. So, but you're picking up new tools as you go. And as you level up, every time as you level up, it gets a little easier. And the reason it feels like, "Ugh, I just went through all this is because you did. You did. You wouldn't be here now working toward this kind of a year if you hadn't already gained some skills and some tools to help you navigate it.
There's no way I'd be ready for that. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, where we are in the spiral, I have no idea. But what I can tell you is that this is an incredibly evolutionary year for you. And so
Mm.
that means that you're somewhere toward the top of the spiral, if not the last level. And the reason that should give you comfort is that one, it's shorter. Two, you have a lot of tools and resources. You just now it's like you picked them all up and you're learning how to employ them in your life.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
So I totally understand that discouragement feeling. And I just want to kind of give you some encouragement, which is that like this year might feel like a breeze in some ways because you've got the resources. You just have to figure out when to reach for what.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
like the main
Okay.
challenge. When to reach for the tools you already have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I get the discouragement, feel all your feelings, and here's another perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah. I mean, it's not like I get to fast forward either. I'm just like, well,
Exactly.
all of those things,
You
I
have
just
to
have to
walk through that.
walk through that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. But you might
Yeah.
find as you're going along, like, oh, that didn't feel as bad, or that didn't take as long. I feel like I've done this
Mhm.
before and I could not get over that. Now I'm
Yes.
finding I'm not attached to that emotion, or I'm not drowning in this, or it's
Right.
like you get to view yourself in a new way too. Like,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting to think about like the beginning of the spiral because I can point to pieces of my life that I was like, oh man, the whole world is ending, and I'm like, that was nothing.
right?
That was nothing. But at the time, I just felt like that was the absolute end of everything.
Yeah. Well,
So,
it's usually because you are in a season where everything is ending, like about
mhm.
you. Like,
Yeah,
and it's like those were false constructs. Like those were
yeah,
things that weren't really you anyway. And
yeah.
it did feel like a huge ending because you were living some other storyline.
It wasn't even
It
true.
wasn't even
Yeah.
true. And then you had to go through that process of like divorcing yourself from it,
Mm-hmm.
like and now as you live into more and more authentic spaces of yourself, the
Mm-hmm.
less those endings feel tragic and the more they
Mm.
feel like, oh, whew, okay, I'm letting that go, and actually that feels relieving.
Mm.
Even in my grief that feels relieving.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Yeah.
maybe in a few months it'll feel relieving.
Right. It takes time,
Now
right?
it
Yeah.
doesn't feel relieving, but like,
Yeah.
yeah. um I mean, this is like a little more personal and feels sadder, but I promise it's not. But like um I've been my relationship with my mom has been very complicated, and there have been a lot of spirals. And I got to a point
Yeah.
in September. I was like, I have to avoid all intimate spaces with her. I don't like she's on a grandparent chat, so she gets some information there. She will occasionally have like a FaceTime with my kiddo, but like I don't have personal conversations with her anymore. I don't talk to her on the phone, and I don't text or respond to her texts
Mm.
in one-on-one situations. And it was very hard. It has been like, there's been grief, absolute grief around it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the other night I was like, I don't miss my mom. And that is really, that's the relief, is like,
Yeah.
I feel like I just get to be myself. I'm not trying to
Mm-hmm.
manage her. I'm not
Don't
trying
have
to,
to mask anymore.
yeah, I'm not trying to navigate all the shit she brings and stirs up in my
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
I'm just me. And it's like, yes, there's some grief, but man, the feeling of peacefulness has been way
Mm-hmm.
worth the grief aspects of letting that go.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
just know that it can be like that. Like it
Yeah.
can be like, this is something I know I have to let go of, and I'm sad about it. And there'll be moments where it pops up that I feel sad about it, but the overarching is like, but being myself is so much better
Mm-hmm.
than being someone I'm not.
Yeah.
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 That resonates. Yeah.
Well, I am wishing you all the best things for your next year. And
Thank you.
please feel I'm happy to be one of those people in your corner. So if you're just like, I don't know who else to reach out to, I will fucking cheer you on.
Okay.
Okay. So just know that
Thank you.
you have
I
that.
appreciate that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely. And I will, I'll send you this recording. I'm going to stop recording now, but I will upload this